Hello, my friends. Welcome to American Lingo Academy. I'm Emily, and today we're going to learn another 10 common idioms, phrases, and sentences that native English speakers use every single day. These expressions are super useful, and I promise by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what they mean and how to use them naturally in your own conversations. These are the kinds of expressions you'll hear in movies, TV shows, at work, at school, and when you're hanging out with friends. So grab a notebook if you want to take some notes, and let's jump right in. Number 1, something smells fishy. This is an idiom, and it has nothing to do with actual fish. When we say something smells fishy, we mean that something seems suspicious, strange, or not quite right. It's like when you have a feeling that someone might be lying or hiding something from you. We use this expression when we don't trust a situation, or when we think someone is being dishonest. It's a polite way to say that you're suspicious about something without directly accusing anyone. For example, if your friend says they can't come to your party because they're sick, but then you see photos of them at another party on social media, you might think, something smells fishy here. Here's another one. Your coworker always finishes their work super fast, but the quality is always perfect. You might say to yourself, something smells fishy about how quickly they get everything done. Number 2, likely story. This is a sarcastic phrase that we use when we don't believe what someone is telling us. It's actually the opposite of what it sounds like. When someone says, likely story, they really mean, I don't believe you at all, or that's probably not true. We usually say this with a sarcastic tone when someone gives us an excuse that sounds fake or made up. It's not a very polite expression, so be careful when you use it. You'd typically use it with friends or family, not in formal situations. For example, your teenager comes home 2 hours late and says, "Sorry, Mom, my phone died and I couldn't call you." You might respond with, likely story, your phone was working fine when you posted on Instagram an hour ago. You might hear something like this. Your friend says, they couldn't text you back because they were too busy. But you know they were just watching TV all day. You could say, likely story. Number 3, don't say a word. This is a direct command or request that means, please don't tell anyone, or keep this secret. We use this when we want someone to promise not to share information with other people. It's a very common way to ask someone to keep something confidential. You can use it in both serious situations and casual, everyday conversations. The tone of your voice will show how serious you are about keeping the secret. For example, you might tell your best friend, I'm planning a surprise party for Sarah next week, but don't say a word to anyone. People often say something like, I just got a new job, but don't say a word, until I officially give my 2 weeks' notice at my current job. Number 4, what's it to you? This is a somewhat rude or defensive question that means, why do you care? Or, it's none of your business. We use this when someone asks us something personal and we don't want to answer, or when we think someone is being nosy. This expression can sound pretty aggressive, so you need to be careful about when and how you use it. It's definitely not polite, and you wouldn't use it in professional settings. It's more something you might say to a sibling, a close friend, or someone who's bothering you. For example, if someone you don't know very well asks, how much money do you make? You might respond, what's it to you? Here's another one. If your nosy neighbor asks why you came home so late last night, you could say, what's it to you? I'm an adult and I can come home whenever I want. Before we continue with more expressions, I want to ask you a quick favor. If you're enjoying this lesson and learning something new, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us create more content like this for English learners like you. We post new videos every single day, so subscribing means you won't miss any of our lessons. Number 5, this is bogus. This is slang that means this is fake, this is unfair, or this is not right. We use bogus when we think something is false, dishonest, or just not acceptable. It's a pretty casual word that you'll hear a lot in everyday conversation. You can use this word to describe situations, rules, prices, or anything that seems wrong or unfair to you. It's not offensive, but it is informal. so you probably wouldn't use it in a business meeting or formal presentation. For example, you get a parking ticket even though you paid for parking. You might say, "This is bogus. I have the receipt right here that shows I paid." You might hear something like, "They're charging $50 for a basic t-shirt. That's totally bogus." Number 6, cross my heart. This is a phrase we use to promise that we're telling the truth or that we'll definitely do something. It comes from the gesture of drawing a cross over your heart with your finger. It's like saying, "I swear" or "I promise." This is a pretty informal and friendly way to make a promise. Kids use it a lot, but adults use it too, especially when they want to sound sincere or when they're joking around. It shows that you really mean what you're saying. For example, your friend asks if you'll pick them up from the airport tomorrow. You could say, "Don't worry, I'll be there at 3 p.m. sharp. Cross my heart." People often say something like, "I won't tell your parents about what happened at the party. Cross my heart." Number 7, can I borrow? This is a polite question we use when we want to use something that belongs to someone else, with the intention of giving it back later. It's one of the most common requests you'll make and hear in English. We use this for everything from small items like pens and books to bigger things like cars or tools. It's important to remember that borrow means you plan to return the item. The tone should always be polite and respectful. For example, you're in class and you forgot your pencil. You might ask the person next to you, "Can I borrow a pencil? I'll give it back after the test." Here's another one. You're cooking dinner and you realize you don't have any sugar. You might call your neighbor and say, "Hi, can I borrow a cup of sugar? I'm making a cake and the stores are already closed." Number 8, who is calling? This is a standard question we ask when we answer the phone and don't recognize the voice, or when someone calls asking to speak to another person. It's a polite way to find out who wants to talk. This is proper phone etiquette that everyone should know. You can also say "Who's calling?" or "May I ask who's calling?" The last one is more formal and polite, especially if you're answering someone else's phone. For example, your phone rings and you don't recognize the number. You answer and the person says, "Hi, is Jennifer there?" You might respond, "Who is calling, please?" You might hear something like this. You answer your family's home phone and someone asks for your dad. You could say, "He's not available right now. Who is calling?" Number 9, it doesn't make any difference. This phrase means that something doesn't matter, won't change the outcome, or isn't important in the current situation. We use it when we want to say that various options will have the same result. This is a useful expression for showing that you're flexible or that you don't have a strong preference about something. It can also be used to say that someone's actions won't change anything. For example, your friend asks, "Should we take the highway or the back roads to get to the mall?" You might say, "It doesn't make any difference to me. Both routes take about the same time." People often say something like, "Whether you apologize now or later, it doesn't make any difference. The damage is already done." Number 10, that can be arranged. This is a polite and somewhat formal way to say, "Yes, I can make that happen," or "I can organize that for you." It sounds professional and helpful, like you're willing to take care of whatever the person needs. We often use this phrase in business settings, customer service situations, or when we want to sound especially accommodating and professional. It gives the impression that you're capable and willing to solve problems. For example, a customer at a restaurant asks, "Is it possible to get this dish without onions?" The server might respond, "That can be arranged. Let me talk to the chef for you." Here's another one. Your boss asks if you can work late next Friday to finish an important project. You might say, "That can be arranged. I'll make sure everything is completed on time." And there you have it, 10 more useful expressions. That will help you sound more natural when you speak English. Remember, the key to mastering these phrases is practice. Try to use them in your conversations this week. And pay attention when you hear native speakers using them in movies, TV shows, or real life. Don't forget to like this video if it helped you learn something new. And subscribe to American Lingo Academy for more English lessons every single day. Share this video with your friends who are also learning English. And leave a comment below telling me which expression was your favorite, or if you have questions about any of them. I love reading your comments and helping you with your English journey. Until next time, keep practicing and I'll see you in the next video.